lucky enough once again to be joined by Steve Kroner of the San Francisco Chronicle. Steve, so far in this one, I mean, it's been a streaky game so far for Santa Clara. They went 7 in a row without missing, but I believe they've ended the half just hitting 1 out of their last 6. St. Mary's, on the other hand, has been operating at a very high level on the offensive side.
Yeah, except for the few times when St. Mary's has made turnovers, it's been pretty automatic that the Gales are getting good shots and they're hitting good shots. The strange thing tonight is Emmett Narr from the floor is perfect, and he's 1 for 3 at the line, a guy who's about an 89% free throw shooter.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's missed, he's missed 2 free throws, and you took the words right out of my mouth, an 89% free throw shooter. The atmosphere here tonight, obviously you don't see an atmosphere like this every single night here in Moraga, as senior night here, and the crowd has showed up in a big way.
Yeah, no question. And in some respects, too, I think it is kind of a tribute to Joe Rahan and Dane Pinot and the St. Mary's fans, because in a lot of ways, this game doesn't mean a whole lot to the Gales. They know they're going to be the 2nd seed in the WCC tournament. Now let me correct myself. If by some chance the Gales were to lose their NCAA hopes, which right now I think are really solid, but if they were to lose tonight, they would be in a little bit of a dicey situation going to Vegas. I think if the Gales win tonight, I think no matter what happens in Vegas, they're in. I think if the Gales somehow don't beat Santa Clara tonight, then I think it's still up for grabs. What do you think, Alex?
I agree with you. Here's the thing, Steve, is I've been here for a number of years now.
Yeah, indeed.
We know around here that you don't leave it up to chance too much. I agree with you. I think the Gales should be in as of right now, win or lose this game. But I agree with you. I think if they lose this game, they put themselves back into the situation where somebody could say, well, a loss to Santa Clara at home.
A loss to Santa Clara at home. And then, too, when you go to Vegas, you should win that first game. The second game, you don't know, assuming it's BYU, conceivably Santa Clara, if Santa Clara were to win this game, that's not a lock. And to lose that game on a neutral court, that would put things in jeopardy for the Gales. I think if they win tonight, though, I think they're in. I think it would be almost impossible for them not to get a bid if they win tonight, take care of business.
I've been playing at a really high level lately. Let's take a look around the West Coast Conference here, though. This game right now, Gonzaga was up at one point, 16-2?
I saw 16-2 in the first 5 minutes. It's now 31-30.
Yeah, so BYU.
With Gonzaga up by a point.
Right, and BYU showing some fight here. I mean, let's be honest. They were dismantled by St. Mary's in Provo, and Gonzaga beat them by double digits in Provo. Is this a case where BYU just matches up better with Gonzaga than they do with St. Mary's?
You would know that as well as I, Alex, if not better. Yeah, I think it's possible. I still think that game's got quite a ways to go.
Yep.
I still would expect Gonzaga to win that game, but the score in the St. Mary's BYU game last Saturday was a little misleading because I believe St. Mary was up by 23-25, and BYU got some garbage time points and cut it to about a 13, 15-point margin. I forget exactly. But St. Mary's dominated that game. I think the problem that BYU has is that if its guards are not on, and they're pretty streaky, there's not much else Eric Mika can do. He's a really good player, but he doesn't get a lot of help sometimes. If by some chance those guards are on, Haas hits something and Emery gets going, then they can be a load. But Emery's really had some struggles lately, and Haas has not been nearly as good as his brother. And if those guys aren't clicking, I don't see how BYU can beat either St. Mary's or Gonzaga.
Can you think of a better league that has a league that has 3 better centers than the WCC with Landale, Karnowski, and Mika?
The NBA.
That's a great answer.
The NBA. That's rare, too. A great answer from me. There you go.
No, I don't know. I think all your answers are great, Steve.
No, I appreciate that. The money's under the table later.
Okay. It's not there yet.
Not yet.
Well, the West Coast Conference tournament here, obviously you're going to get the 1 and the 2 seed and the 3 seed are all locked with St. Mary's.
Well, the 3 seed is not exactly locked.
That's true. That is true. Yep.
If Santa Clara were to win tonight and BYU were to lose, Santa Clara would be the 3 seed.
Correct.
But unless both of those things happen, then BYU is 3.
So let me start again. The 1 and the 2 seed are locked.
Indeed.
Is this a case of it's going to be Gonzaga and St. Mary's playing for the West Coast Conference tournament again? I mean, is it Gonzaga and St. Mary's and everybody else?
On one level, you say yes. Certainly through an 18-game season, those two teams, and Gonzaga has separated itself from St. Mary's, and St. Mary's has separated itself from the other 8 teams. But I don't think the separation is so much, say, with USF, Santa Clara, and BYU, compared to those teams that, given the right or wrong circumstances, depending on your perspective, that USF, Santa Clara, or BYU could beat Gonzaga or St. Mary's on a semi-neutral court. As we know, the Orleans Arena is pretty much a home game for the Zags. But it wouldn't be, for me, it wouldn't be out of the question for one of those 3 teams to knock off St. Mary's or Gonzaga, but it would be a huge upset.
You look at the rest of those 8 teams, which one of them stands out to you as a team that can cause some problems for the top 2 teams, and why, if there's one team?
If there's one team, I guess I might go with the obvious. I'd still go with BYU. I mean, if you just look at pure talent, I know that they've hurt, they don't have much of a bench, but you know, on the right night for Emery and Hawes, and Eric Mika is a great center, I think that would be the team. But I don't think there's that much difference between a USF team that can get hot from the three-point line and Santa Clara, which has 3 good guards, and Nate Cratch has not played very well tonight, but he has played very well for most of this season. So I'd go BYU, but not by a whole lot.
Which one of these 7 to 10 teams do you think can maybe get hot and win a couple games? I mean, you've got San Diego, Pepperdine, Pacific, and Portland. Portland's obviously been devastated by injury, but all 3 of those teams have shown signs of life. All 3 of those teams have also not played well at numerous times this season. Which one of those 4 teams can beat one of these giants?
I don't think any of them can. Again, to be perfectly honest, I don't think any of those teams. Pacific, gave Santa Clara a hell of a game Thursday night, and Pacific gave the Gales a pretty good game a couple weeks ago. I guess if you're making me pick one, I'd go with Pacific, but in reality, I don't think any of those 4 has a much of a prayer in Vegas against either Gonzaga or the Gales.
You look at this edition of this St. Mary's club, tied fastest in program history to 25 wins. What's different about this team through the course of this entire year? We've gone through the dog days here. We're now reaching the light at the end of the tunnel. What's different about this team than the other NCAA tournament caliber teams that Randy Bennett has had?
I think this team is probably the best defensive team. Since I've been covering, not as much as I would like this season, but if you count this season, the past 9 seasons, I think this by far is the most consistent defensive team that Randy Bennett has had. I don't know that it's the most explosive team. I mean, I think the Patty Mills team might have been more explosive. I think the Rob Jones, Matthew Dellavedova team might have been more explosive. But this team has played defense almost every game. And I don't think you could say that about some of the other St. Mary's teams that might have been a little bit more, have a little more firepower. This team has played defense night in and night out.
Rob Jones in the house tonight, by the way.
I did see him.
Right over there, yeah.
Indeed.
We'll end on this one.
Okay.
Do you think the league has taken a step up just in terms of talent from the top of the league to the bottom of the league this season?
Not yet. To be honest, not yet. I think the 2 teams at the top are certainly as good as 2 teams at the top of most any conferences. But I think BYU has taken a step down, and some of the teams at the bottom have really been hurt by injuries. Pepperdine, for example, LMU. But if you look at the whole league, I don't think the talent level is what the league, I think it thinks it can be and what it should be. I think maybe it's getting there. Maybe in a year or 2 of Herb Sendek's recruiting at Santa Clara and Kyle Smith recruiting at USF, that talent level will improve. Right now, I'd say the top of the league, yes. The other 8, not quite so much.
Should the West Coast Conference be a multi-bid league on an annual basis? In an average year? On
an average year, in my opinion, the WCC ought to be able to get at least 2 teams in most seasons. Yes, absolutely.
We'll leave it there.
There
Steve
you go.
Kroner, thanks so much for your time this year, Steve. We always appreciate it. We hope to talk to you again in the near future.
I look forward to it, Alex. Always a pleasure.
Steve Kroner of the San Francisco Chronicle. Always a pleasure with him as he drops the mic quite literally and heads back off to the rafters here in McEwen Pavilion. We're ready for our player of the game, our Crowne Plaza player of the game. And it's one of our seniors tonight. It's Dane Pinot. As Dane Pinot straps on the headset. And he's actually meant to be here this time, unlike in San Diego, Dane.
Yeah,
congratulations on the win, first of all.
Thanks very much. It's good to be back on the show. I actually had to invite myself this time because Alex didn't want me to come on. He thought I should spend time with my family, but I said, you know what? Radio is far more important.
I think you may have, maybe a better choice of words would have been AJ is family, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah. That would have actually been smarter.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot cooler of me if I had said that instead.
That's our welcome back to the saddle.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to be back.
How special was the ceremony before the game? Both you and Joe got a standing ovation. How cool is it to be here with your family in town and able to soak that in for your final time in a regular season game anyway in McEwen Pavilion?
Yeah, look, it was really cool. It was kind of funny because all week I was telling me it's like a real emotional game. I just didn't really feel it. I felt like just a normal game coming up, and then on the day I was getting so many messages from all these different people, wishing me luck. It was kind of weird. It was like I had like 15 more messages than usual, and the whole ceremony beforehand was really cool, and it kind of did sort of dawn on me a little bit that like it was my last time I get to play in front of all the great people of Moraga and St. Mary's as well. So it kind of was a little bit. It did play on my mind a little bit that I wanted to give a good effort the last time I came out here, but it was lucky I was doing it with Joe. He's just such a great leader, and he's so calm and one of my best friends as well. So it was a real treat to get to do all that with him, and that helped out for sure with the game tonight. It's just he was so level-headed. It was easy for me to say the same way.
Yeah, it seems like you guys kind of feed all, because that's for a lot of people, like you said, coming into this last game, it kind of seems like an everyday type of deal, but you get here and you get the ovation, and there's just so many emotions, playing into this one. And like you said, it's tough to stay level-headed. How were you guys able to keep your composure? You got out to a 20-8 lead, so clearly that wasn't, a big part of this one.
We were pretty pumped to play still, so getting an early lead, I wasn't really surprised. We've worked all year to try and get to this point where we could try and put ourselves in a position to make the tournament and be ready to go in Vegas as well. So we just was finishing off the job, and we were really, really excited to play today. And I think that showed a bit when we came out and got going early with that 20-8 lead.
The game plan today, obviously Santa Clara is kind of compromised in their depth in the first place, but you pick up the early fouls on Endemania, Cratch, and Jaderston, and they were really kind of playing, with less cards in their hand after that. Was the game plan, tonight, when you look at that, talking about the interior, was it to kind of say, hey, let's really get after them down low and kind of see what they've got behind these three guys?
Jock's beast. He's hard to handle down there. So it's mostly that's a lot to do with it. Just those guys are fouling him because they can't defend him. That's all it is, really. It wasn't like we had a plan going in. It's just he's so big and so good. They couldn't stop him without fouling him, and that was big for us. It helps us a lot when we get the second string guys because they have an even harder time with guarding Jock. So it's something we try and do every game with us bigs. We work on it. We sort of look at it as like attrition. We just kind of try and wear them down. And we got to do that tonight, which is nice.
You got Nate Cratch for a lot of this one with your time on the floor. And Marty, accurately so, when he gets going, they're tough to beat because, he's kind of the X factor for him. Tonight he was 0 of 4, no points, 4 assists. When you draw Cratch, when you draw Nate Cratch, what's the approach there, and how do you not let him get into a rhythm?
Cratch didn't have 4 assists, did he?
Did I say 4 assists?
Yeah, you said 4 assists.
No points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to make sure that people get the correct information. Cratch was doing nothing out there. Me and Fitzy had him locked down.
Oh, don't worry. Thanks for correcting me, by the way, because I don't want people to. They may look at the box score, they may not. They may just listen to this and say, 4 assists.
These guys probably just trust you. You want to make sure you do a good job.
Listen, I say probably. I want to say about 1,000 words when we. If I get one of them off, that's a decent percentage, right? 99.9 for 1,000, maybe 990, maybe 900.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you, AJ. You do a great job.
I don't want to hit. No,
AJ, I see what you're doing. You're fishing for compliments here. You're doing an excellent job, and I'm sorry to call you out on your one slip up. But
okay, the defensive approach on Nate Cratch.
Yeah, look, he's having a really good season, and we sort of knew his tendencies and. The ways that he likes to shoot his shots, and we just try to make that difficult for him. A lot of their offense revolves around the guard, and just we had to try and sort of focus on not over-helping too much, because that's where Cratch hurts you, is when you get too focused in on the guards, and then he kind of slips out and he's open for a three because you're worried about what the guards are doing around you. And so it was just kind of trying to make sure that we stayed focused on guarding Cratch and making sure that we were there when he popped out for his looks, and just making it difficult for him when he's in the post. And Fitzy did a great job of that, forcing him out off the block, and then just not giving him second chance points on rebounds. And I think we did that too. You didn't get any offensive rebounds. I'm just looking at the stats right now, just to make sure I'm right. Yeah, I got no offensive rebounds. So,
just don't get anything wrong, because I'll jump all over you.
Yeah, so that was basically it. And it's always good when we can hold a player like that who can be kind of an X factor for him out of the game, because the guards had enough problems. I mean, the guards have enough to deal with, with their other players. So if we can do our job on someone like Cratch, then it helps us out a lot defensively. Well,
they did a great job. I mean, Santa Clara's got a great backcourt, Fagan, Brownridge, and Hauser. Fagan and Brownridge, 7 of 19 from the. I mean, a lot of that has to do with defending the ball screen, which you play a big part in, and that kind of disrupts their offense.
Yeah, I mean, that is something we try and focus on. When me and Jock were guarding 50 tonight, that's something we thought we could help out. And Jock was great on defense too. I felt like both of us together, it was kind of a bigs unit. We just knew that we had to help out a little bit, and I think we did a pretty good job there, just kind of disrupting them a little bit.
Can we talk about the blazer your dad's wearing? It is awesome. Just awesome.
My dad shops way too much. He's got an unbelievable amount. He has more clothes.
Marty commented on it, actually.
He has more clothes and shoes than my mom, I'm pretty sure. He's unbelievable.
He looks sharp, though.
Yeah, he does look sharp. I often get quite a bit of flack because my dad dresses a lot better than I do. And everyone always tells me he's got far more style. And it's kind of like, well, he's got his own bank account, which is far greater than mine.
It's true.
And he has a lot of free time at the minute, so he used to spend it all online shopping. I mean, if I had enough time and money like he did, I'd probably buy as many clothes and look as cool. But, I mean, yeah, that blazer was pretty good.
I don't know. I think you look pretty cool, Dane.
Oh, thanks.
I think 10 points.
You too.
No. That's not what I was doing. You saw that. I think 10 points and 6 rebounds looks pretty cool. And I think a win on senior night looks pretty cool. How about that?
Yeah, it is great. We're so pumped. And that means a lot for us. We love playing together. So just
it shows.
Getting some success like that, it's fun to celebrate with the guys. It's we work so hard, and we just enjoy being with each other so much. It's nice to see some results go our way. I feel like it's kind of rewarding, and it's always nice too to get one up on a coach. And we beat DC's winning percentage record tonight, which is always big time. He can stop hanging that over our heads because we didn't get it last year. And then I think with this win, we've locked in the winning percentage record at the school, which is a pretty cool thing to do.
Is Emmett Nar going to hang the third all-time in assists over his head after tonight?
Yeah, he's got it tonight.
He's got it tonight.
Oh, yeah.
500 assists. David Carter ended at 498.
Wow, yep. That's great. I mean, Em's such a special player. I love playing with Em. How many do you have tonight?
4. 4 tonight.
That's all I need.
He had 4. I was actually looking at Emmett Nar's line when I meant to be looking at Nate Cratch's line.
Joe
say the 4 assists. Joe had 6, yeah. So that 26-3 record, what does it say about how special this team is? And when this year's all said and done, I mean, is that the thing you're going to remember most, just how much you love playing with these guys and being with these guys? Because you guys, I mean, you're really tight off the floor, too.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just says a lot to how much we like playing together, and it helps us it helps us compete every night, is when we all want to play well for each other. And I'll definitely remember a lot about this year, but just hanging out with the fellas and celebrating wins like that is something that I'll always remember the rest of my life. So, yeah, I think it's a big reflection on how tight we are as a team, our record, I think for sure.
Shout out to Alex Bay, too. And the biggest thing is it's not over. I mean, that's you still have something to play for going to Vegas and the rest of the year, wherever it is that we end up. That's the fun thing here is this ride is not over. And like I said, you got something to play for and potentially, more championships to win here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we hope we have a lot more games left to play. We feel like we have a lot still left to achieve. We have a lot more goals. We want to win that tournament in Vegas. I mean, I've never done that here in my 4 years. Never got to be a part of a team that's won that, and it would just be a really special thing to finish the season off right. We've done a lot of work up to now, but if we don't finish the job, it won't be quite as sweet. So yeah, we want to keep playing for as long as we can.
Well, Dane, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on your performance. And a great 4 years so far here at St. Mary's. It's been a pleasure to watch you. It's been a pleasure to hang around you, too. And I enjoy our conversations here, especially when you take the headset just on a whim. It's been great, Dane. So, thanks for sharing all that with us, and congratulations on a great career so far here at St. Mary's.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, AJ. Love being on the show. Love having you around. Love having you around, AJ.
I know. We love having you, Dane.
All right. I'm off.
You got anything else?
I'm off. I got to go see my family. My dad's calling my name, so I'm off. It's been awesome. I couldn't be happier with how my 4 years have gone. I feel so lucky to be a part of a school like this and a part of a team like this and a part of a radio show like this as well. With everyone around me is just such great people. I just feel so lucky. That's all I feel about this whole experience.
I think the feeling's pretty mutual here, Dane. Congratulations. Let you go be with your family.
Thank you very much.
Dane Pinot, your Crown Plaza player of the game. Crown Plaza conquered the hotel choice for St. Mary's Athletics as Dane Pinot on his senior night. 10 points, six rebounds. With a couple of steals and a block as Dane Pinot leads the team in steals as we end the regular season with 27 steals. He's also got 28 blocks. Right away off I would imagine was one of the shorter post-game meetings of the year in the locker room. It's time to hear from the coach, brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions, a proud partner of St. Mary's Athletics. Obviously, you had the advantage in depth here tonight and on the post, and once, there were a bunch of fouls called. I don't know the exact number, but 11 fouls called on Santa Clara there in the first half. A lot of them on their bigs. You knew that you'd kind of wear them down.
Yeah. We certainly was going to be a bit of a war of attrition in there. We knew they played very physically, and if we were able to hold our position and throw the ball in there, we knew we'd get them in foul trouble. Obviously, the big fella got in foul trouble. Cratch was in foul trouble. Number 3 came in and got 3 really quickly. I guess in some ways it was part of what we wanted. In other ways, it's like, we need to leave one of them out there so our bigs got someone to guard, because if they all foul out, then they go really small. Put 4 guards and maybe Kai Healy at the 5. That becomes difficult to guard. So in the end, we did enough without getting any of them out, which is what we really planned to do. Didn't cash in at the line. I think we probably missed, 6 or 7 free throws early, of which some of them were front ends 1-on-1. So that really mounted up. You had the 12-point halftime lead. You probably should have put another 6 points from the foul line on that, and the game's just about closed there.
Yeah, 13 of 22 from the foul line. Calvin Hermanson got the scoring going from the perimeter there in the first half. But you look defensively here, and KJ Fagan and Jared Brownridge just 7 of 19 from the floor. It seems like we talk about this after every single game. There's a perimeter guy, there's an elite perimeter scorer on the opposition. And once again, it's Joe Rahan on Jared Brownridge, and it's Emmett Nahr on KJ Fagan.
Yeah, and look, Brownridge made some tough ones early. I think he had 9 fairly quickly. He didn't score again until partway through the second, where he got free throws, and again, Joe did a great job. Emmett did a great job in his own unique kind of way defending, and Calvin and Tanner came on and did a nice job as well. I mean, it wasn't like it was just those two. It was obviously a team effort, and the 5s were able to help because the big fella doesn't shoot the ball that well. I really think our 4s did a super job on Cratch. I mean, I'm not even sure he scored, did he? Maybe he got
no points, 0 of 4 from the field. And the big thing there, that was where I was going next, because the big thing there is he only took 4 shots. He didn't get into a rhythm early, and his first 2 shots were, way offline. He didn't come close.
Yeah, and they did a really nice job of helping on the ball screen. He gets a lot of on pick and pop stuff, and they were able to help on the ball screen and get back to him. And that's often a difficult thing to do. A lot of players can do one of those 2 things. It's hard to do both, but we didn't let any guards turn the corner and get in the paint, and then we're able to get back and defend his 3. That was Fitz to start with. It was Dane. Really good job on Cratch, because he has been kind of their barometer. When he plays well, they win. When the guards, you pretty much know what you're going to get out of their guards, and they're going to be good, and the offense will run through them. But when Cratch has a big game scoring-wise, they tend to win games, and obviously that just fits with the pattern.
I think he went for like 36 in that game when they scored 101.
Yeah.
Matt Hauser is the other piece here. He was 5-7 from the floor, but he turned the ball over 3 times. This is a guy that doesn't, you compare him probably to like a Joe Rahan type on your club, who doesn't turn the ball over very much at all. He led the conference in assist-to-turnover ratio tonight, just 1 assist and 3 turnovers. It looked like Calvin Hermanson's length bothered him, and then Dane Pinot, like you said, hedging off the ball screens. Yeah,
and that was a concern coming, because he didn't play in that first game. We knew he averaged around 6 assists a game, and keeping him to 1 assist was a big key for what we wanted to do. He curls off that low screen he gets and he throws it back out to the perimeter on a flare pick. And it really was Cal said, like, they come to the inside, meet him on the other side of the screen, get your hands big, don't let him throw it back out again. And they went to it a couple of times, and they made a basket early. But Cal did a really nice job. And you're right, his length, Cal's length, he's improved so much as a defender. I mean, I'm sure you can remember his redshirt year where it was like we were scared to put him in a practice because we didn't know what was going to happen defensively. But anyway, he's grown through that, and he's become, I don't want to say an elite defender, but certainly a very, very good defender.
He fell over a couple times tonight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
all tongue-in-cheek, Calvin.
Yeah. He would probably say he got pushed and it was an offensive foul, but in the end, the referee didn't call it, so it's not.
You mentioned, of course, they made some runs there in the first half, but a lot of those shots they were hitting were contested. Some of them fall-away jumpers. Is the message there just to keep up the effort on the defensive side and keep doing what you're doing offensively?
You've got to absorb that. Look, sometimes the ball's going to go through the net, and then a couple of them were like last second as well. Tough shot, turnaround jump shots off penetration with the guy spinning back to the basket and just rips one up there and it goes in. So some teams panic when that happens. And you've done everything right. Sometimes good offense beats good defense, and you can't allow that to dent your confidence or your confidence in what the system have got in place or your ability to guard a guy. And this group is really strong in that area. So.
We talked about Dane Pinot, I mean, before the game and in this one. And, again, defensively, he makes such a huge difference, like you said, on the forward cratch. But not only that, I mean, his help side defense, hedging off balls, it changed the way Santa Clara had to run their offense.
Yeah, it does. If you can't come off a ball screen and keep the same cutting line as you've got and be able to turn a corner hard, and you can't do that with Dane. He pushes you out back towards the half-court line, and then you've got to get another start, and it just disrupts the sync of the offense and the timing of it. And he's, as we've said plenty of times, he's just an annoying person generally, and really annoying as a ball screen defender. Having said that, his dad looks spectacular tonight. I mean, I'm not sure where he ripped that out of. New haircut, new blazer. Oh yeah, new blazer. I actually
the blazer's sharp.
Oh, the blazer, the pocket. What's the thing you put in your pocket that looks like a little handkerchief? He had one of them in there.
Pocket square.
Yeah, pocket square. That's it. He was. I think he thought it was his senior night. He kind of took over and.
I liked it how when they walked through the players, he stopped, shook.
Oh yeah. No. He's going 30 years senior on. Really sharp looking guy, Brad.
But I think that's the first time I've seen him without that St. Mary's hat he always wears on.
Yeah, I bet he's got it on now.
Where is
he? I can't find him.
We'll find him eventually.
He's probably doing a media review right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where he is, but
apple don't fall far from the tree right there, does it?
Oh no. Dane's got a little bit of that too, which is all good.
We love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Rehan, first of all, it looked like it was his right knee. Maybe he bumped knees with somebody.
Yeah, bumped knees. I mean, no biggie, just a bruise. It's one of those ones in a spot that doesn't have a lot of flesh on it, and he'll be fine. Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
But just tough performance from him tonight. You look at him and Emmett combined, 10 assists, 2 turnovers. But what they do for you, and especially in the case of Joe, goes so far beyond, just that stat and the points they put up and the points that they help on.
And even beyond the score sheets or the stat sheets, it's controlling tempo, it's controlling the other team's best player, it's making sure the guys huddle and all the things that there are no stats on, and they're often overlooked. And honestly, most of it's done with no fanfare, with no desire to even want the limelight. And it's one of the big things, guys. I really hope, and we talk to Geordie Ford about this all the time. Your time with Joe is limited. You need to get in and suck as much of that experience out of him as you can, because it's one of the things about college basketball. Your veterans are 22-year-olds. They're not like at the pro level, that 35-year-old guy running around that knows exactly what's going on and he knows the ropes and he can teach young guys. College is not like that. It's hard to draw that experience out of other people, because they're still young players themselves and they're still learning. So this is one that I hope our young guys really gravitate to and learn off as much as they can.
How do you deal with that, this time of the year? Obviously, everyone's got bumps and bruises after going through 3 months of a college basketball season, 3+ months of a college basketball season. And treatment is so important right now, and making sure you're putting the right stuff in your body. I mean, it really becomes, and I remember Delhi talking about that, what it takes to play 40 minutes in a game, and it seems like, that's, I don't want to say it's been passed down, but it seems like guys have really
no doubt.
Take care of their body. That makes a big difference.
Going right back to when Capes was here as a player, that was one of the things I think he added to the program, and then Kicks obviously added to that, and Delhi and Mitch and Jordan, all the guys who have come, is the understanding of not just working hard but working smart, making sure you know the cues your body is sending you, and that's all those things. Young players don't often know that. It's one of the biggest advancements in world sport. How to elongate your career, not just through to college, but past college, and within that, it's make sure you can play your best at the end of the season, because that's when the trophies are handed out. There's no trophies for playing well in November. You've got to be good all the way through. So we put time and effort into it. We've obviously got a great trainer. We've got Derek Marks back on staff and nutrition in that area, but it's understanding your own, because everybody's body is different, and we can't just come in and say this is going to suit you, and you, because it may or may not. But it's a big part of team success. One of the biggest derailers of team sport is injury. You cop an injury at the wrong time. Sometimes injuries you just can't do anything about, but a lot of the times it's the cumulative effect of the workload leads you to breaking down right when you can least afford to do that. So.
Shout out to Tony Kearns.
Absolutely, yeah. Fantastic trainer. Really switched on to where guys' bodies are at, and everyone's different. Some guys play 40, some guys don't play. The guys that don't play need extra work to stay in shape for when they're called upon. The guys that play the 40, it's not just about put your nose down and keep going. Sometimes it's about actually having a rest. And
96-97 team was honored here tonight. Rob Jones was in the house.
Yeah.
How nice is it to have alumni here when,
awesome.
when you come back?
Have them come back, have them come around. Jones was in the locker room. The 96-7 team were in at practice yesterday, and it's one of the great things about this place. And some places do it better than others. There's a reason why people want to come back here, is because they feel part of having built something special, and they feel part of the fabric of the place, and they know they're going to be welcomed when they come back. And not every school is like that, not every club is like that. I think it's an area that kind of just happens here. I think we can always put time and effort into making sure that we promote that. Again, it's a way for young players to go and see Jones, or go and see Dave Sulovich, or one of those guys. How did you guys deal with it? Probably one of the things that's undersold a little bit, but it's always good. I know our players get a real kick out of having the alumni guys come back in.
Steer away from the St. Mary's talk for a second. What is it about the kennel that makes BYU feel so? They just beat Gonzaga 79-71. Unbelievable.
Who knows? Maybe. Well, the first thing is BYU are good to start with, and if they get on a roll, and haven't seen any stats other than the final score, if they make threes, they're going to be dangerous. Whether that's in the kennel, whether it's at the Marriott Centre, or whether it's down here, whether it's at the conference tournament, you can't let that particular club get on a run and feel good about himself. And I haven't seen anything. Does it surprise me? Yeah, a little bit, but also not really. Maybe Gonzaga are looking past. Who knows? I don't know. But it does prove that the big dogs up there are very beatable. And that should. I'm not sure how the guys probably know. Maybe they don't. But that should really give us an extra kick. It's like, okay, it's been done now. Maybe Gonzaga wanted to lose. Maybe they wanted to get that thing off their back, because that is a difficult burden.
Could be a burden, yep.
Difficult burden to carry. Oh, you're undefeated, and suddenly you're in a tournament where if you lose, you're out. And that's your one. And we saw that Wichita State a couple of years back, where they just couldn't carry it through.
Gonzaga shot 29 free throws in that game and still lost at home. That's incredible. We'll finish up with this.
Yep.
Heading into the tournament, it's losing, you're going back home. What's the best way to approach, a so to speak, winner take all game? A situation where if you lose, you're out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And obviously if you win, you're moving on to the next one. And also just so many games in a short window of time.
Yeah. Well, certainly the first part of it is there's only one way, and that is the boring sport cliche of one game at a time. And you really can't do anything more than that, because if you don't get this one done, the next one doesn't eventuate. And I think teams do fall into that trap of saying, oh, we'll just try and rest some guys, we'll try and do this, we probably won't play hard, and suddenly they're down 10, and the other team that may or may not have won for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks suddenly got some juice and they're up and going. You got to do your work early, you got to complete your work, and then you move on to the next one. And obviously there is some scope within there. If you get a nice lead, you might want to rest some guys and do that, but in those sort of tournaments where there's not double elimination, it's single and you're gone, the rest is a 7-month rest. It's a long rest, so you got plenty of time to rest afterwards. I mean, but it does bring into play the good body management and the understand nutrition, all that. You get cumulative effect of 3 games in 4 days.
No question. Congratulations on an outstanding regular season. I mean, 26-3. That is that's nothing to look down upon. I mean, 16-2 in the West Coast Conference. I mean, how do you? It's tough to come out and win that many games. I don't care who you're playing.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
To beat the team on the other bench that many times out of this many games. That's congratulations. It's been a heck of a regular season, and the ride's not over yet. Looking forward to see where we go. I mean, where it takes us.
We've knocked DC's team off as the highest winning percentage of the St. Mary's team.
Another notch in the old belt gone for DC.
No, he's moved down to number 2. It's not bad being part of number 1 and number 2, though, I must say.
And Emmett Nahr with 4 assists tonight passed DC
passed him as well. So I wonder why DC was just saying, "Oh, just make Emmett sit in the corner. Don't let Emmett touch the ball." And so, okay, I understand why now. He's passing you. So anyway, it's he's an awesome part of this place, as in DC. I mean, he's been through a couple of different generations of success, and it's not insignificant that success follows that man. And he's had it as a player, he's had it as a coach, as an assistant coach, a head coach, and now as an assistant again. He is part of success, and class person.
Well, you guys all are. I mean, it takes a village, right? And that's exactly what's happened to a 26-3 record. Look forward to seeing what happens in Vegas and the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks, AJ.
Marty, thanks so much. That's Marty Clark, and he is our Let's Hear from the Coach segment, brought to you by Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering digital copier and technology solutions to the Bay Area for over 15 years. Visit them online at shamrockoffice.com.